Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to completely transform how you look at every single purchase you make. We're diving into the critical framework of modern consumer protection. But listen, this isn't just about what the law says you're owed. Not at all. This explainer is essentially a masterclass in defensive shopping. We're going to break down exactly what your responsibilities are in the marketplace and how mastering them can totally change your everyday shopping experience. So let's jump right in.
Now, take a look at this famous quote from Mahatma Gandhi. It brilliantly sets the ultimate baseline for what we're talking about today. It really highlights that you, the consumer, are the true king of the market. I mean, you are the whole origin of the modern marketing world. Without you, these businesses literally do not exist. You are the absolute pillar of economic development. It's a highly empowering position to be in, right? But with that power comes a very necessary reality check.
Because here's where that ideal kind of crashes into the real world. On paper, sure, you're the king of the market. But look at the reality of today's seller's market. Consumers are constantly being cheated and exploited. We're talking artificial scarcity, sudden ridiculous price hikes, and incredibly misleading advertising. This stark contrast right here is exactly why this explainer matters so much. You just can't rely on businesses to always do the right thing. You have to actively protect yourself.
To do exactly that, we're going to follow the literal journey of making a purchase. Here's our roadmap for today. Stage 1 is before the store, then at the shelf, at the register, back at home, and finally, we'll look at the safety net.
All right, let's kick things off with stage 1, before the store. This is all about pre-planning and dodging those sneaky advertisement traps.
I want you to really ask yourself this. Is that flashy commercial actually true? Picture the scenario. You're watching TV or just scrolling through your phone, and you see this amazing flashy commercial. You need to look at it with a super suspicious eye. Start identifying those exaggerated corporate claims that are specifically designed to just draw you in. It's a well-known fact that sellers frequently exaggerate the quality of their goods and ads. Your job? Challenge what you see. Do not take marketing at face value.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. Identify the truth in those ads, and above all else, stick to your pre-planned requirements. Don't let a slick, high-budget marketing campaign rush you into buying something you simply don't need. Imagine actually opening up a notepad to compile a clear pre-planned buying budget before you ever even step foot into the market. It sounds almost too simple, but avoiding the trap of buying in a hurry, that's your first major line of defense. And here is exactly how you execute that pre-planned buying. Just follow these specific steps. First, make an accurate estimate of the goods you actually need. Second, figure out the exact quantity required. No more, no less. And third, deliberately decide on the specific place of purchase beforehand. When you follow these steps, you totally neutralize the power of those impulse buys driven by clever store layouts and manipulative marketing. Moving right along to stage 2, at the shelf. Time to exercise those rights and practice cautious buying.
The golden rule, once you're inside the store, is to be an active, cautious consumer. Picture a shopper walking up to a busy store counter. Instead of just casually pointing at a random shelf and saying, "I'll take that," they pause. They actually analyze the items. They actively assert their consumer rights by closely inspecting the labels to confirm quality, quantity, price, and utility details before they buy. You have to transition from being a passive observer to an active investigator.
And honestly, this table right here brilliantly illustrates exactly why you need to be an investigator. Look at these sensory tests for food adulteration. This is the kind of stuff you might actually be buying if you aren't careful. Milk, it can be adulterated with synthetic milk. If you rub a drop between your fingers and it actually feels soapy, that's a massive red flag. Chili powder might be mixed with straight-up brick powder or talc. If you mix it with water and rub the residue, a gritty feel means brick and a soapy feel means soapstone. And sugar, it can be cut with urea. You rub that on your palm and it smells like ammonia. I know it's shocking, but this proves that blindly trusting the shelf is a huge risk. Your caution is your shield.
Okay, stage 3, at the register. This is all about quality consciousness and demanding your receipts.
Right before you hand over your hard-earned money, you must be absolutely quality conscious. Imagine pointing away from some cheap, unbranded electronic item and deliberately picking a product that displays clear quality marks. These acronyms, like ISI, AG Mark, Hallmark for jewelry, FPO, and FSSI for food safety, they are your best friends. Never, ever buy inferior stuff just out of a greed for lower prices. You need to look for these specific quality symbols every single time.
And as you finally complete that transaction, remember this absolute, non-negotiable rule. Never compromise on quality, and always secure your tax invoice. Seriously? Imagine being at the checkout and firmly refusing to leave until that cashier provides a valid retail invoice and a warranty card. It is your strict responsibility to demand those documents, because think about it. Without them, if that product turns out to be defective later, you have zero proof of purchase to settle the dispute.
Which brings us to stage 4, back at home, filing complaints and getting organized.
So what actually happens when you return home, unbox the item, and discover it's completely broken? Well, here are the exact steps for acting on a defect. Let's say you discover a defect in a home item. Instead of just ignoring it, which, by the way, only encourages more unethical business practices, you immediately draft a formal complaint to the officer in charge. And this is crucial. You file this complaint before the guarantee or warranty card expires. Waiting around and delaying could literally cost you your consumer rights entirely.
But you know, your responsibility doesn't just end at your own front door. Report fraud early, and definitely back your community protection associations. We all have a duty to join and support local non-government organizations like the Consumer Guidance Society of India or the Consumer Education and Research Center. By supporting these organized welfare efforts, you're helping study market trends, you're agitating against bad practices, and you're protecting the broader community from exploitation.
And finally, stage 5, the safety net. Let's talk about the Consumer Protection Act of 2019.
If a seller just completely ignores your legitimate grievance, the Act establishes this robust 3-tier quasi-judicial escalation path. It ensures there is always a path to justice. It starts right at the District Commission for claims up to 1 crore rupees. If you aren't satisfied there, you have 45 days to appeal up to the State Commission, which handles claims between 1 and 10 crore. Still not resolved? Okay. You have another 30 days to appeal to the National Commission for claims over 10 crore. And the absolute final stop? Appealing to the Supreme Court within another 30 days. The point is, you are never without options if you actually choose to pursue them.
Which leaves us with this final, really vital thought. The law gives you an incredibly robust set of rights, and the government has built the entire machinery to protect you. But none of it matters if you don't take action. The whole system relies entirely on you. So ask yourself, are you going to remain a passive buyer, just letting the seller's market dictate all the terms? Or are you going to take up your responsibilities to protect yourself and your community? The choice of how you navigate the market from here on out is ultimately entirely yours.